have the right to a speedy and public trial. You are innocent until the state has proven your guilt beyond reasonable doubt. You do not have to prove your innocence. You have the right to an attorney to represent you for every stage of the proceeding. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court may appoint one for you. If you waive your right to an attorney, you may reassert it at any time. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses of the state. You may also present witnesses of your own and compel their attendance if necessary. You have the right to remain silent with the power to decline or refuse to make any verbal or written statement to the prosecution. You have the right to testify, but only if you choose to do so. Do you understand each of those?
I do, Your Honor.
Very well. I'm going to read, the second page. This is called Special Considerations for Non-Citizens. I don't know if this applies to you. I'm just reading it as a blanket statement for everyone. Conviction of a crime can adversely affect the immigration status of any individual who is not an American citizen. This applies to all convictions, including most traffic offenses. Receiving a diversion can constitute a conviction for immigration purposes. Adverse effects to your immigration status may be significant. These include the potential revocation of your immigration status and or the ordering of your deportation. Because of potentially severe consequences resulting from a conviction, you are entitled to an opportunity to discuss potential impacts of the conviction with an immigration attorney. Wishing to discuss potential consequences of a conviction with an immigration attorney does not constitute exercise of your right to counsel. You are not entitled to the appointment of an attorney solely to address potential immigration issues. You understand each of these?
I do, Your Honor.
And again, I don't know if that applies. I just read the blanket statement for anyone who's Mr. May, you are here today on a one-count complaint alleging an aggravated assault. This is in violation of Kansas statute 21-5412, paragraphs B1 and B2. This is a severity level 7-person felony. If convicted, it can carry a sentence from a minimum of 11 months to a maximum of 4 months in prison and or a fine of up to $100,000 and 12 months of post-release supervision. Again, those are the maximums, minimum and maximum. There are also other options, including some community corrections-based supervisions if convicted. Because of your status as a defendant in a criminal case, you do have options to be represented by counsel. The first option you have is to hire an attorney of your choosing. If that's what you want to do, just let the court know and we'll set this for a future date to allow you to hire an attorney and get things set up with that individual. Your second option is to request court-appointed counsel. In order to qualify for court-appointed counsel, you must fill out an application and a financial affidavit. You must meet certain requirements financially to qualify for court-appointed counsel. Also, if you do receive court-appointed counsel, you may be required, I stress the may be required to contribute to the cost of that attorney in some fashion at a later time. Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing. What that does is gives you and Mr. Gallegos, the prosecutor, the opportunity to discuss this case between the two of you to see if you can come to some resolution. If you choose this option, understand you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you would like an attorney. You understand?
I do, Your Honor.
Very well. With regard to representation, how do you wish to proceed today?
I waive the right to an attorney.
All right. Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney?
No, sir.
Is anyone promising you any leniency to waive your right and saying that things will be better or worse for you?
No, sir.
Very well. The court will find you have knowingly waived your right to an attorney, and I will reiterate, if you change your mind, let the court know, and we will talk about an attorney. All right. Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire today?
Speak real briefly, Your Honor, if you want to come back over here.
So, I'll close the record temporarily.
Who is?
Lynn May. He may not be a new doctor, he's on county attorney, that's a Kearny County District Court case 2023 CR 33011. Good morning, ma'am, what's your name?
Bethany Graves?
Are you here for court this morning?
Yes.
You said Bethany Reyes?
Yes.
All right, I've noted your appearance here and we will get with you here shortly. There in the folder in front of you is a sheet of paper that says, statement of rights to and of criminal defendants. That's what I was reading to Mr. Maine when you came in. I'll go over that with you. And if you want to look that over ahead of time, and it's what we were reading as you walked in, so you may have heard some of it, that might streamline what we do. But that will be the first thing we deal with when it's your turn, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
First appearance for me.
Sorry.
This is first appearance.
Yes. I think most of these that we'll see today are first appearance. It's a fairly short document.
Okay.
I was expecting to see Thomas here. Since he popped up earlier, something changed between or.
No, now our current full staff in dispatching jail, I go back to roving, so.
You roving into here today. All right.
There's something about this 5-day commit that we were supposed to,
He was supposed to report yesterday at 3, and that was because he chose the dates to get off of his work. And I know that I've seen paperwork go through it, so they're trying to get it found and make sure that the guy can report.
they issue it out, you know, the guy showed up yesterday. But you know, he took off specific days of work, which now he only has like 4 days of, you know, time, but he only has a 5-day commit. What would do with the 5th day?
You're gonna have to talk to Mr. Gallegos about that.
Okay.
So, but, and it could be, I mean, we just barely got back up on computers, and so they're trying to get stuff loaded. So that part, I don't know.
Your Honor? One question that I have from Mr. Maine is whether he's gonna want to proceed to trial on his own, or if he's gonna wanna hire an attorney, or get a court appointed attorney.
All right. So, Mr. Maine, one quick housekeeping question. I laid a form in front of you there. That is, what I should have had you fill out before you talk to Mr. Gallegos, but that's all right. That's, would you look at that and check the box that is appropriate? There are pins behind you. This guy has flowers and.
Gotcha.
And then sign it. That's your waiver of attorney. And then Mr. Gallegos has indicated that you are wanting to go to trial. You hear the question he asked?
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying
Okay,
attention.
go ahead and fill out that. Sign that form for me. You chose to waive your right. I think the waiver is one of the bottom boxes, and then.
Sure. I just want to read everything before I sign, sir. Okay, I have a question for the court.
Sure.
Okay, I know that it's not that I'm not able to employ a lawyer, so I have no interest in a court-appointed lawyer because I would have to pay for it anyway. Does that make sense to you, Your Honor?
Well, potentially, that is a possibility, or at least a portion
But
there.
I haven't even spoken to a lawyer about this, so I don't know if I want to hire a lawyer or not.
Okay, well.
I can't answer Mr. Gallegos's question right at this
Then
moment.
this is what we'll do for today. You initially waived your right to an attorney, but as I said before, you always have the right to change your mind.
Yes, sir.
Based on your question, the court is going to believe that you have changed your mind and wish to contact an attorney.
I at least want to talk to one, yes, sir.
And so what we will do is we will schedule this for a future date. And that will give you time, and I want to be clear, you are telling the court you want to, on your own, contact and potentially hire an attorney at this point.
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Very well, then let's look at a future date to set this for second appearance.
So I signed just where it says defendant,
Yes,
and then I return this one to you.
right, and then my notes will reflect that you have changed your mind and now wish to contact an attorney. That was just a form I had filled out based on what we did before, so not a problem, we'll just stay in the record.
I have a motion for you.
Yeah, I know, I can change that, I understand. Thank you,
So
sir.
make the road, Doctor.
Huh? Oh, sure, Mark. Didn't really get it in the box, did I?
My first, Your Honor?
You made it, thank you. All right. Mr. Maine, how far out do you think you would need to? Do you think you could have someone contacted and have information on your behalf by the 30th of January? That's about 4 weeks out.
I think I can do that, sir. At least have somebody contacted and have an idea if I'm gonna be able to hire them or not.
Right.
And what day is the 30th?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
That is our normal first appearance and second appearance docket.
So I just put it at 9 AM.
That would be fine. Very well, Mr. May, I've set your second appearance for January the 30th, 2024 at 9 AM here in the courtroom. One of two things needs to happen. You need to have an attorney enter an appearance on your behalf, Or if that's successful, you need to appear on that date and time and tell the court what's going on and what your intentions are, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gagos, do you have anything further from the state's perspective?
No, Your Honor, I'm just gonna set it as like a status check,
Very well.
or, you know what, just a second appearance.
I said second appearance since that's what I,
Okay, that's fine.
all right. Very well, we are adjourned as of this matter until January 30th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Thank you for your appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Reyes, would you like to start? Here. Let's see. Mr. Reyes, this is Kearny County District Court on January the 2nd, 2024. We are here for a first appearance on case 2022 CR 512, titled State of Kansas versus Bethany Marie Reyes. Is that you, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Are you having any trouble hearing or understanding me right now? All right. When you came in the courtroom, I was reading a statement of rights to and of criminal defendants, and then I told you where to find a copy. Did you find a copy of that?
Yes, sir.
Have you had a chance to go over that?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to go over it with you on the record, or did you catch it when I was reading it to the other gentleman?
I got it whenever you were.
So what you're saying is you heard it already and you understand it, is that
Yes.
correct? And I read the special consideration for non-citizens on the back. Did you hear and understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't know if that applies to you and I won't ask, I just read that to everyone, all right? Based on your responses to knowledge of your rights, you are here today on a one-count complaint by the Kansas Highway Patrol alleging a violation of Kansas Statute 8-142, paragraph 1, which is operating a motor vehicle without a current registration or tag. That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor. I'm sorry, that's an unclassified non-person misdemeanor, punishable by a fine, on conviction, punishable by a fine of not more than $500 and a jail sentence of not more than 30 days in the Kearny County Jail. When I tell you the fines and the court costs, and I say not more, that's the maximum that could be assessed. It's not always what is assessed upon a conviction. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand what the charge is and the penalty against you?
Yes, sir.
Regarding today's hearing, you have about 3 options regarding representation. If you wish to hire an attorney, you can do so. The court will give you time to do that. Hiring an attorney means you go and you find your own attorney and you pay him or her and they appear for you. A second option is to request court-appointed counsel. If that's what you're wanting to do today, you'll need to fill out an application and a financial affidavit to see if you qualify for court-appointed counsel. People who receive court-appointed counsel may, I stress the may part, may be required at a later time if convicted to pay a portion or all of their attorney's fees. Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing. What that does, that would give you the option to speak with Mr. Gallegos directly, Mr. Gallegos being the state's prosecutor. That would give the two of you a chance to discuss your case and possibly come to some resolution on your own. If you choose to waive your right to an attorney today, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you want an attorney for future hearings. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to proceed today?
I don't waive my right to an attorney.
Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney?
No,
Is anyone promising you anything in return for waiving your right to an attorney?
no, sir.
Very well, the court will find you have knowingly and willingly waived your right to an attorney. Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire today, or would you like to set a?
Yes, briefly, you want
I'll go off the
to,
record.
do you have brief briefly now? Do you have it to do to stop?
I didn't have to do this. I'll do it the next day.
Where are you supposed to register?
The last one.
So 3 months after?
Yeah,
I can't do that. What I'll do is, if you want to You can leave no contest to registration. I'll give you another time this time. If it happens again, I'll give you another time, 30 days jail if it happens again. So you just have court costs of fines and without. Or you know what I'll do, I'll put 1 day in jail. 1 day. Just. I'll do jail. If you don't have everything paid off with him, it's gonna take you to pay $108 and $60 fine, so $168.
But I want to do everything.
Yes, by how? Do you think you can get it paid off within 60 days? Okay. So I'm offering to plead no contest to expire registration. For $5, 5 days under jail. Will be suspended on the payment of the court cost of fines in 60 days. You okay with that? Next time, make sure it's time, okay? Your Honor?
Yes.
Came to an agreement which she will plead no contest to expire her no registration. The state's asking for 5 days jail suspended upon payment of court costs and fines, Your Honor.
Court cost being 100 a day, what did you
I
agree?
believe the fine is $60 and 120 days no law violation, so you can't violate the law within 120 days. Okay? So no speeding, no DUIs, no getting fights with anyone. Anything, okay?
And how long to pay?
We're just give her the whole 120. But pay it off with them before that. Just throw away all this, it'll be done.
Ms. Reyes, Mr. Gallegos has told the court you've entered into an agreement, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
He outlined the agreement for the court, is that how you understood it?
Yes.
Very well.
Before we do that, Your Honor, do we get a waiver?
No, we don't have.
No, it says. Waiver, we'll sign off on it. We can go back.
All right, for the agreement, Ms. Reyes, as to count 1 of the complaint, illegal registration, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions before I accept your plea. On or about the 27th of November, 2023, were you stopped by a Kansas Highway Patrol trooper? And did you receive a ticket from Kansas Highway Patrol trooper? Okay, that was an affirmative response. All right, and you were driving a 2023 Chevy Malibu?
Not a 2020.
I'm sorry, a 20, that was a tag, let's see here. The 2008 Chevy Malibu?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And that occurred in Kearny County, Kansas?
Yes, sir.
And at the time, was the vehicle's license plate current?
No.
Very well. The court finds factual basis for the charge, finds you guilty of illegal registration. And prior to pronouncing sentence, is there anything you'd like to tell the court on your behalf or in your defense?
No, sir.
All right, then the court will follow the agreement and sentence you to 5 days in the Kearny County Jail. That sentence is suspended. That means you don't have to serve the time, provided you complete the remainder of the agreement. The remainder of the agreement is you will have no new law violations for the next 120 days. You'll be fined $60 for the illegal registration and $108 court cost. That's a total of $168. That amount is due to be paid on or before the 120 days expire. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
As a result of this conviction and your sentence, you do have rights to appeal. If you want to appeal any part of this ruling today, you can notify the district court in writing within 14 days of today's date. If you do not file an appeal in writing within 14 days, you waive your rights to appeal. You understand?
Sir.
You also have the right to an expungement. An expungement is a court process that can remove convictions from your record, almost as if they never happened. Expungement requirements vary depending on the type of offense being expunged. Information on expungements and how to request one can be found at the Kansas Judicial Council website. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of the court regarding your fines and your sentence?
No, sir.
Mr. Gallegos, do you have anything further regarding this?
No, Your Honor.
Very well, if nothing further, we are adjourned as to this matter. Thank you for your appearances.
Thank you.
So we have 120 days from today, but sooner you get it done, but
Yeah, so I don't come back to it.
just pay everything over there and make sure that not the car doesn't have or always has registration. Okay?
Thank you.
I can text Thomas and see what he says.
All right, Mr. Gallegos.
Okay. Here is. Real names and. This is,
Thank you.
I'll get you a general entry right now. There's no one, I'll see you. No,
I'll go over my list and then we can go over your list. At 9 o'clock, I have 2023 TR 300028, Johan Lopez Uribe. And I believe he was failed to appear and a warrant was issued December the 12th. So I don't see a bond sheet, so I don't know why he would be on the docket today,
I don't see anything either,
but it appears there's already a warrant pending.
yeah, so just,
We moved him.
Your Honor, he had called for a court date to take care of his matter.
Okay, so I don't see him on Zoom and he does not appear, so I guess we'll just leave the bench warrant in effect. All right, Mr. Gallegos, tell me when you're ready.
go for your honor.
2023 TR 300036, which is Robert C. Sharps. This is a traffic case, first appearance, and I believe he had Mr. Sharps on a criminal case a week or so ago and continued to today.
I don't think he showed up on that day either.
He did not, but we continued it to today since he had a first appearance. On the in case there was some confusion. Bless you. Mr. Gallegos, I have Mr. Sharps is not in the courtroom and I don't see him on Zoom. How do you wish to appear on these two matters?
Give me 1 second, your honor.
You have Mr. Sharps on the docket.
Yes.
So finishing alcohol,
What was the prior case? Do you have him, do you guys have him on bond for a prior case or?
Well, like on the dock, all it says is vehicle without registration.
Right, this is a second case.
Yeah.
You got another one.
yeah, so
Did we go summons or was he out on bond on the first one, Mr. Gallegos? Do you have it?
I do not have that information, your honor.
What do you want to do today, sir?
The state's gonna be respectfully asking that a bench warrant be issued on both cases, your honor, in terms of the, for registration, we're gonna be asking for $1,000 cash for surety. And then for the furnishing alcohol to a minor, we're gonna be asking for, I believe that is a Class B, so $1,500 cash for surety.
Very well. The court will note that Mr. Sharps failed to appear previously on the criminal case. And also today on the traffic case, so 2 bench warrants will issue. In the traffic case ending in 3-6, a $1,000 cash corporate surety bond. And in the criminal case, I don't have that docket number in front of
It
me.
is KE-2023-CR-300,007.
In the criminal case ending in 7, a bench warrant with a cash or corporate surety bond of $1,500 will issue. Anything further, Mr. Davis?
No, Your Honor.
Takes care of that one. Tell me when you're ready for the next one.
And we can check all my notes, Your Honor.
Actually, I show at 10 a.m., so we're not quite there yet.
So I have, last week was the traffic case, I have, this week was the criminal case. You still got back to.
Well, my docket is showing today is the traffic case first appearance. Let me look at the citation. So the citation that is on here shows the 19th of December. I think this is the one we failed to appear on, so it was continued to today. I don't have the criminal case on my docket, but that's because it's one of those
Yeah.
generated numbers and they're still loading those into Odyssey.
Yeah.
So long story short, Mr. Sharp should have been here today. So my next cases are 2023 CR 23 and 28, Mr. Casanova. And the court's notes are that at his last appearance with Mr. Ledke, they requested time to get some things taken care of, and we set this for February.
Did we say it was February?
Mhm.
I was wondering about that.
February 8th, 2024 at 10 a.m. is what I'm showing. So,
But he has two cases, if I'm remembering
correct, and they are combined.
February. Okay. So we have nothing to do with that right now.
And then I have two 10 o'clocks, a 10 o'clock and a 10:15. The 10:15 is a speeding. So that one is on here. We may or may not see that individual if they're taking care of it another way. I have Brian Moreno at 10 a.m. 23 TR3 00027.
Give me 1 second. Figure me out, Your Honor.
Sorry,
Moreno.
he's not good until 10.
For sure, but Preston, I have a Preston Joseph.
According to your office's
Diversion.
notes, the diversion was filed.
In the name, go to the waiver. I don't know, here's from Michael Bay.
I do have him, or I don't have him on my docket, but we have him on yours. And I believe this is one,
Is that the one from Colorado?
one in Colorado, he was supposed to have forwarded his court-appointed attorney paperwork prior to today.
Yeah,
Have you heard from him?
we have not, Your Honor,
Okay, Cherie or Mariella?
but your. if-
Yes, sir.
Your notes were at a lesser judge stated that if not in by next court date, must appear in person.
Good. Have you received any information from Michael Bay regarding court-appointed attorney paperwork from last?
I don't believe so, but let me double check.
I'll go back into my notes. What did you see him, Mr. Gallegos? Was that the 16th?
That was on the 19th of December, John.
I concur with your information on the appearance, so we'll see if anything has come in.
Your Honor, I don't see anything.
Mr. Gallegos, Mr. Bay does not appear via Zoom or in person. His paperwork is not in as requested, required, or ordered. How do we proceed?
The state's gonna be respectfully asking that a $2,500 cash flow for surety bid will be issued during
What were your bond requests?
2,500.
This was a DWS second, correct?
Yes.
Very well, benchmark will issue $2,500 cash corporate surety bond. All right. Other than Mr. Moreno at 10. You have anything on your docket we haven't covered yet other than Mr. Moreno?
Give me 1 second, I'm just trying to make sure we do the benchmark. So, good. You over Johan?
Sorry,
Johan? You or me? Johan?
that's the one, he called for a court date today. Do you have a bond sheet on him?
Now that we know.
Okay, he called for a court appearance today while there's a bond, benchmark pending, but he hasn't appeared, so
Okay.
the benchmark will just remain in effect.
We don't have a P number for him, so I don't think he's been in process or anything.
Okay. Guess we will cross that bridge when we see him next.
My docket, the only person I have left is Brian Whatever.
All right,
And that one. Last I knew for. He called, no, we didn't issue a benchmark, his mom called and was confused about date, and she asked if her son had a foot date.
all right. That one was rescheduled. Do you know, does Mr. Moreno need an interpreter?
I do not know. Corina. Did Moreno need a interpreter? He's a 15-year-old. Can you send me next piece?
Ms. Chavez, I think we're down to about one thing on the docket, and that's at 10 o'clock, so we're trying to figure out. if we-
I don't think he did, Your Honor, but.
Yes, Moreno will need an interpreter.
Would
Well,
you-
the parents, the kid, no.
You can hang around for 20 minutes or so, then we appreciate it.
Eric Casanova, was that handled outside of court?
That was moved to February 8th.
Both of his cases are consolidated, and so both will be appearing on the 20th. Whatever day he told February the 8th.
Mariah and Manhattan at 2:15.
That is a speeding ticket, so.
Oh,
that's
that's
an
the
infraction.
one. 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Still recording.
2023 TR 300027.
Pues que la información de tráfico dice caso 03.
Are you Brian Moreno?
Yeah,
Are you able to hear and understand me?
yeah,
Escuchar y aprender lo que el pueblo dice.
Sir, you're here today on a traffic citation issued by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office.
Creo que tiene una boleta de tráfico
I gave you a sheet of paper that outlines your rights.
está diciendo que lo que es el papel donde está escrito los derechos que tiene.
I am going to go over those rights with you.
Le va a ir leyendo los derechos que tiene.
When I get done with these, I'm going to ask if you understand them.
Y el derecho de la persona que comprende.
And then I will ask if you have any questions regarding them.
Y luego le pregunto si hay alguna pregunta acerca de lo que le digo.
And I'll be starting with number 1.
Vamos a empezar con el que es este.
You have the right to a formal reading of each of the charges against you, as well as a reading of the potential consequences in the event of conviction.
Él tiene el derecho de que le lean formalmente todos los cargos que hay contra él y también que le lean las consecuencias que puede enfrentar por cada una de las condiciones del caso.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial.
Él tiene el derecho a tener un juicio público rápidamente.
You are innocent until the state has proven your guilt beyond reasonable doubt.
Él se presume que es inocente hasta que el Estado, representado por el Ministerio de la Defensa, pueda probar que la persona es culpable sin lugar a dudas.
You do not have to prove your innocence.
Él no tiene que probar su inocencia para mí.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you at every stage of proceeding.
Él tiene derecho a ser
Usted.
representado por un abogado.
Usted, no, no estás hablando de él, I think you're referring to me,
Bien,
pero usted tiene el derecho,
él tiene derecho.
sí,
Él tiene derecho a que lo represente un abogado durante todo el proceso de ese caso.
If you cannot afford an attorney, the court may appoint one for you.
Si él no puede pagar un abogado, pero un abogado puede darle un abogado en oficio.
If you waive your right to an attorney, you may reassert it at any time.
Si él quiere renunciar a tener un abogado, por ahora él puede pedirlo por el momento.
You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses of the state.
Y tiene derecho a confrontar a cualquier testigo que pudiera traer el Estado, que van a dar la.
You may also present, I'm sorry,
No, razón.
you may also present witnesses of your own and compel their attendance if necessary.
Si él quiere traer testigos que den su testimonio a favor de él, pueden traerlos a través de una orden de la corte.
You have the right to remain silent with the power to decline or refuse to make any verbal or written statement to the prosecution.
Él tiene derecho a permanecer en silencio y tiene el poder de rehusar o no hacer ninguna información verbal o por escrito durante el proceso del caso.
You have the right to testify, but only if you choose to do so.
Él tiene el derecho a dar su propio testimonio, pero solamente si él desea hacer.
Mr. Moreno, Mr. Brian Moreno, did you understand each of these rights as I read them?
Él comprendió todos los derechos que le acabo de leer y dijo que sí.
Are there any that you have any questions over?
no,
I'm going to read special considerations for non-citizens.
Estas son consideraciones especiales que van para las personas que no son ciudadanos.
I don't know if this applies, but I read it as a blanket statement to everybody.
Él no sabe si aplica a él, pero él la ley tiene que leerlas.
Conviction of a crime can adversely affect the immigration status of any individual who is not an American citizen.
La convicción de un crimen puede afectar muy marcadamente el estatus migratorio de un individuo que no es un ciudadano americano.
This applies to all convictions, including most traffic offenses.
Esto incluye cualquier convicción, incluido las ofensas de tráfico.
Receiving a diversion can constitute a conviction for immigration purposes.
Para los propósitos de migración, un contrato de diversion que se le conceda se constituye como un delito.
Adverse effects to your immigration status may be significant.
Efectos adversos pueden afectar el estatus migratorio significantemente.
These include the potential revocation of your immigration status and or the ordering of your deportation.
Esto puede incluir revocar su estatus migratorio y dar la orden de su deportación.
Because of the potentially severe consequences resulting from a conviction, you are entitled to an opportunity to discuss the potential impacts of the conviction with an immigration attorney.
Por la potencialidad de las consecuencias tan severas que pueden resultar de una convicción, tiene el derecho a tener la oportunidad de consultar con un abogado acerca del impacto que puede tener con un abogado especializado en asuntos migratorios.
Wishing to discuss the potential consequences of conviction with an immigration attorney does not constitute an exercise of your right to counsel.
Si él desea tener una discusión o una pregunta acerca de las consecuencias que puede tener una convicción con un asunto, con un abogado de inmigración, ese no es un derecho que él pueda tener el derecho a tener un abogado específicamente para eso.
You are not entitled to the appointment of an attorney solely to address potential immigration issues.
Él no tiene derecho a que le den un abogado únicamente para hacer preguntas acerca de los asuntos migratorios.
You understand each of these items as I've read them to you.
Él entendió cada paso que le dije.
Are there any that you have questions over?
No.
Very well. Mr. Marino, how old are you?
15.
15.
15 años.
In the state of Kansas, you are considered an adult for traffic offenses at age 14.
Desde la edad de 14 años, en el estado de Kansas se considera como un adulto hasta para los asuntos de tráfico.
I will go over with you your charge right now.
Él va a leerle ahora los cargos que tiene.
You were charged with a one-count complaint by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office
Él tiene un cargo por una queja porque soy de Kearny
with violation of the restrictions on a driver's license or permit.
Esa tiene una violación de un permiso con restringido que tenía para manejar.
That is a violation of Kansas Statute 8-291.
Eso es un delito de la ley de manejar en el estado de Kansas, y es el 91.
That is an unclassified non-person misdemeanor.
Ese es un delito clasificado en una persona, un delito menor.
If convicted, you could be ordered to pay a fine up to $500.
Si él no encuentra imputado, podría tener que pagar hasta una multa hasta de $500.
You could also be sentenced to the Kearny County Jail for not more than 30 days.
Y pudiera también ser pagar encarcelamiento por no más de 30 días en la cárcel del condado.
These are the maximum penalties and not necessarily those that would be imposed on a conviction.
Estas son el máximo de penalidades que pudiera haber, no necesariamente quiere decir que se le pudiera imponer.
Mr. Moreno, do you understand the charge and potential consequences?
Entonces, entendiendo las consecuencias y los cargos que hay en este caso, y él dijo que sí.
Mr. Moreno, you have options today regarding representation.
Y dice que él tiene opciones para que sea representado.
You have the right to hire an attorney of your choosing.
Él tiene derecho a tener un abogado que él mismo pague para que lo ayude durante todo el proceso del caso.
If you choose to hire an attorney, I will set this for a future date to give you time to do so.
Si él decide que quiere tener un abogado que lo ayude en el proceso, él le daría tiempo suficiente para que pueda estar en el abogado y pudiera hacer arreglos para que el abogado lo asesore.
If you would like an attorney but can't afford one, the court may be able to appoint one for you.
Si él quiere un abogado, pero sabe que no se puede pagar, este tribunal pudiera darle un abogado de oficio.
To qualify for court-appointed counsel, you must fill out an application and a financial affidavit.
Si él va a querer crear un abogado de oficio, necesita crear una aplicación que es como están las finanzas para saber si califica para un abogado de oficio.
You must meet certain financial guidelines to be eligible for court-appointed counsel.
Para que le puedan dar un abogado de oficio, él necesita responder las preguntas de su cuestionario acerca de sus finanzas para saber si califica para un abogado.
If you are appointed counsel and are later convicted, you may be required to pay back some of the costs.
Si le dan un abogado de oficio y él resulta culpable del cargo que tiene, hay la posibilidad que él tenga que pagar honorarios del abogado.
Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing.
La tercera opción que él tiene es renunciar a tener un abogado por el juicio de ahora.
If you waive your right to an attorney, Mr. Gallegos can discuss your case with you to see if you can come to a resolution.
Si él renuncia a tener un abogado por este día, eso le daría la oportunidad de hablar con el señor Gallegos, que es el fiscal del condado, para ver si ganan la resolución de su caso.
If you waive your right to an attorney today, you can always change your mind and tell the court you would like an attorney at a future date.
Si él renuncia a tener un abogado por ahora, el juez dice que él puede tener la seguridad de que cuando él desee buscar la vida de un abogado, lo puede tener en cualquier momento, sin librar al tribunal.
Mr. Moreno, how do you wish to proceed today regarding counsel?
Le pregunta que si te cambia a un abogado, cómo él quiere continuar este día.
I wanna go with the fiscal, yeah,
Okay. Do you wish to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing?
yes,
Lo que le acabo de decir es que renuncia a tener un abogado, eso es lo que le pregunta, y si es la está queriendo decir que el oficio.
Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney today?
Le pregunta que si alguien no puede tener un abogado por ahora, y dijo que no.
Is anyone promising you anything in return for waiving your right to an attorney?
Le pregunta que si alguien le hizo alguna promesa de que iba a ofrecerle algo, si él renunciaba a tener un abogado, y él dijo que no.
Mr. Moreno, the court finds you have knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to an attorney.
El tribunal encontró que él sabiendo de lo que está haciendo y con todo conocimiento de lo que está haciendo, le aceptan que renunció a tener un abogado.
Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to inquire today or set a future date?
Yes, Your Honor.
El señor Gallegos va a hablar con él.
Give you some time to discuss and go off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
One quick question, can I have dad's name so I can put it in my notes?
El nombre suyo completo, por favor.
Mario Alberto Moreno Mauricio.
Mario
Alberto Moreno Mauricio.
Thank you.
Usted tiene licencia restrictiva. Lo que es una cámara. Ok. Estos son restrictivos. Esto pasa me dice de que solo te puedes manejar cuando estás con tus padres, yendo a la escuela, llevando las cosas de la escuela al trabajo, ¿ok? No para otras cosas. Un fin de semana, un baile, esas cosas no lo puedes usar, ¿ok?
La iglesia.
¿También?
La iglesia.
Pues la ley no dice eso, pero yo digo que sí. Lo que voy a hacer es, les voy a dar una oportunidad de un diversion, ¿ok? Para que esto no quede su récord, pero si te ganan manejando durante ese tiempo, alguien es como una declaración de que eres culpable si violas la ley, si te pones un problema, si pegar un negocio o vas al, más bien, o robas algo de la tienda, etcétera, más bien, puedo encontrar culpable de esto, ¿ok? Vas a pasar ahí a una oficina ahí abajo, agarrar el papel, llenarlo ahí, dejar el papel ahí conmigo y yo mañana escriba bien porque si no yo no lo puedo leer, más bien yo no lo puedo comunicar con usted, ¿ok? Y voy a ver si calificas para que vea, ¿ok? Le voy a dar otra fecha ahorita. Pero si todo va bien con ese acuerdo con el fiscal, va bien conmigo, no vas a necesitar que presentarse. Pero si no percibes y no llegamos a un acuerdo en donde ya estás en el reino, vas a estar presente para el próximo audiencia, ¿ok? ¿Estás en la escuela ahorita? Sí. ¿Aquí? Ok. You want to read me the report, David?
Very well. How far out is it?
We're gonna do, it's gonna be a time for diversion, let's just shoot for February. 13th, can we do or what time are you guys gonna school? 3:30?
Yeah.
3:45, Your Honor?
Let me check.
3:45. 3:45.
February 13th at 3:45.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Moreno, I set a future date for February 13, 2024 at 3:45 p.m. It is your responsibility to know if you need to appear on that day.
La responsabilidad es de él si necesita que presentarse en esa fecha y en esa hora.
If you have completed your diversion agreement or whatever you're doing with Mr. Gallegos, you may not need to appear.
Si él completa la diversión y se pasa, él califica, a lo mejor no necesita presentarse ese día.
If it is not completed or you're not sure, appear on that date or risk having a failure to appear.
Si no se completa, la responsabilidad de él es presentarse ese día.
Mr. Brainerd, do you have any questions on your report date?
No.
Very well. Mr. Gallegos, do you have anything further?
No, Your Honor. What's your father's name? Can you tell me, guys?
Yo, Mario Alberto
Mario.
Moreno Mauricio.
No, Your Honor.
Very well. If nothing further, we are adjourned until February 13th. Thank you for your appearance.
Si ya
Thank you.
no hay nada, pues fue la fecha para que empezó, es entre las 13 y las 3:45.
Thank you. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
¿Ya sabes la fecha? Lo hice así para que no pierda en la escuela. Pero, cuando trabajando, las escuelas, la volteada derecha, y esta universidad, ahí te van a dar la asignación de míralo ahí.
Chicos, we have anything else on your topic?
No, John,
I have nothing else. Thank you, Ms. Chavez.
I can't believe I have everything else that I should do here.
I don't think we do as well.
Yeah, Johan.
I'm always saying your office.
Lopez. Can you unmute yourself, Lopez Uribe?
Yes, he's here.
Okay,
Okay, well, we're glad you.
give us 1 second.
Thank you.
Will Mr. Lopez need an interpreter?
That's what I'm going to ask. Mr. Lopez, can you hear and understand me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I have an interpreter here. Does anyone need a Spanish speaking interpreter?
Yes.
Más ver, one interpreter.
Yeah.
We have one more, Mr. or Deputy, so. We'll take care of that. So I'm glad to see you, Mr. Uribe. I thought you weren't going to be here, but you are, so that's great.
He was supposed to read at 9 AM. Correctly. This will be our first appearance for this.
All right.
Via Zoom.
All right. You are Johan Lopez Uribe.
¿Usted es el señor Johan López Uribe?
Sí.
Yes.
Let me get your recording started. Sir, this is Kearny County District Court
Este es la corte del distrito de Kearny County.
on January 2nd, 2024.
Es el día 2 de enero de 2024.
Sí.
The District Court Case 2023 TR 300028.
Este es el caso TR 38
3 zeros and a 28.
008.
This is State of Kansas versus Johan Lopez Uribe.
Este es el caso de contra Johan López Uribe.
Can you hear and understand, Ms. Chavez, Mr. Uribe?
¿Me puede escuchar bien y entender lo que le digo?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. I am going to go over your rights as a criminal defendant.
El juez le va a leer los derechos que usted tiene como una persona que tiene una acusación.
Afterward, I will ask if you understand each of them.
Después de que él termine de leer esto, él le va a preguntar si entendió todo lo que le leyó.
Or if you have questions over any of them.
O si es que tiene preguntas acerca de lo que le leímos.
All right, You have the right to a formal reading of each of the charges against you, as well as a reading of the potential consequences in the event of convictions.
Usted tiene derecho a que le lean los cargos que tiene, cada uno de los cargos que tiene, y también tiene derecho a que le digan las consecuencias que pudiera tener por cada uno de los cargos.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial.
Usted tiene derecho a tener un juicio rápido.
You are innocent until the state has proven your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Usted se supone que no es culpable hasta que el Estado pueda probar que usted es el que cometió el delito sin lugar a duda.
You do not have to prove your innocence.
Usted no tiene que probar su inocencia.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you at every stage of the proceeding.
Usted tiene derecho a tener un abogado que lo represente durante todo el proceso de su caso.
If you cannot afford an attorney, the court may appoint one for you.
Si usted no puede pagar un abogado de su bolsillo, este tribunal pudiera darle un abogado de oficio.
If you waive your right to an attorney, you may reassert it at any time.
Si usted quiere renunciar a tener un abogado, usted puede hacerlo y tenga la seguridad de que si quiere después un abogado, lo puede indicar y se le da el tiempo para que tenga uno en cualquier tiempo.
You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses of the state.
Usted tiene derecho a hacerle preguntas a los testigos que pudiera traer el Estado.
You may also present witnesses of your own and compel their attendance if necessary.
Usted puede también traer testigos que puedan dar testimonio a su favor y si es necesario se les mandaría una orden de presentarse a través del tribunal.
You have the right to remain silent with the power to decline or refuse to make any verbal or written statement to the prosecutor.
Usted también tiene el derecho a mantenerse en silencio sin tener que decir nada o por escrito o verbalmente.
You have the right to testify, but only if you choose to do so.
Usted también tiene derecho a dar su propio testimonio, pero solamente si usted desea hacerlo.
Do you understand each of these rights as I read them?
¿Entendió cada uno de los derechos que él le acaba de leer?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions over any of them?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta acerca de los derechos?
No.
No.
I am going to read special considerations for non-citizens.
Ahora le va a leer él unas consideraciones que son especiales y específicas para las personas que no son ciudadanas.
I don't know if this applies, but I read it to everyone.
Él no sabe si aplica en su caso, pero él la
Nomás
lee.
poner Texas y Colorado, y pues Kansas. Ajá.
What was that?
Ajá, no entiendo.
Is there someone speaking in the background, Mr. Lopez?
Not here.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Conviction of a crime can adversely affect the immigration status of any individual who is not an American citizen.
Tener una convicción pudiera afectar su estatus migratorio de una persona que no es ciudadana de los Estados Unidos.
This applies to all convictions, including most traffic offenses.
Esto incluye todas las convicciones, incluyendo las boletas de tráfico.
Receiving a diversion can constitute a conviction for immigration purposes.
Excuse me?
Receiving a diversion can constitute a conviction for immigration purposes.
Si usted recibe una diversion, eso también constituye una convicción para los asuntos migratorios.
Adverse effects to your immigration status may be significant.
Los efectos que pudiera tener una convicción son bastante significantes.
These include the potential revocation of your immigration status and or the ordering of your deportation.
Esto podría revocar su estatus migratorio y o también pudiera terminar en deportación.
Because of the potentially severe consequences resulting from a conviction, you are entitled to an opportunity to discuss the potential impacts of a conviction with an immigration attorney.
Por los efectos que puede tener una convicción, usted tiene el derecho a consultar con un abogado especializado en asuntos migratorios.
Wishing to discuss the potential consequences of a conviction with an immigration attorney does not constitute an exercise of your right to counsel.
Si usted desea consultar con un abogado de asuntos migratorios, eso no le da el derecho a tener un abogado específicamente para consultar asuntos migratorios.
You are not entitled to the appointment of an attorney solely to address potential immigration issues.
Eso no le da el derecho a tener un abogado únicamente para eso.
Do you understand each of these items as I've read them?
¿Entendió cada uno de lo que le acaba de leer?
Sí.
Yes.
Very well. Sir, you are charged with a 2-count complaint by the Kearny County Sheriff's Office.
La oficina del sheriff tiene 2 quejas contra usted.
Count 1 is no driver's license
El cargo número 1 es que no tenía licencia.
in violation of Kansas Statute 8-235.
Ese es un delito contra los estatutos de la ley de Kansas y el número es 35.
That is a Class B non-person misdemeanor.
Ese es un delito de la clase B, un delito menor.
If convicted, a person could receive a fine of not more than $1,000
Si lo encuentran culpable, puede recibir hasta $1,000 de multa
and a jail sentence of not more than 6 months in the Kearny County Jail.
y un tiempo de encarcelamiento de no más de 6 meses recluido en la cárcel del condado.
Those are the maximum fine and jail sentence.
Ese es el máximo de multa y de tiempo de encarcelamiento,
That is not necessarily a fine or sentence that would be imposed.
pero no necesariamente quiere decir que le pudieran imponer la multa y el tiempo de cárcel.
The second count is speeding 80 in a 65-mile-per-hour zone.
El segundo cargo que tiene es es ir en exceso de velocidad a 80 en una zona marcada por 65.
That is in violation of Kansas Statute 8-1558.
Ese es el número marcado en la ley de manejar, es el número 58.
That is an infraction.
Eso lleva a una infracción, una multa.
If convicted, it is punishable by a fine and court costs.
Si lo encuentran culpable, puede llevar una infracción o multa y costos de corte.
Do you understand the charges and potential penalties?
¿Entendió los cargos que tiene y las penalidades que pudiera recibir?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. You have options for representation today.
Usted tiene opciones para para ser representado en este juicio ahora.
You may hire an attorney of your choosing.
Usted puede traer un abogado que usted ocupe con su propio dinero.
If you want to hire an attorney, the court will give you time to do so.
Si usted desea ir a ocupar un abogado, a buscar un abogado, este tribunal le da el tiempo suficiente para que pueda hacerlo.
You may request court-appointed counsel.
La otra segunda es que usted puede requerir que le den un abogado de oficio.
If you request this option, you must fill out an application and a financial affidavit.
Si usted quiere hacer eso, necesita llenar una aplicación y un estado financiero.
You must meet certain financial requirements to qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Para que pudieran darle un abogado de oficio, necesita calificar algunas reglas financieras que están en ese papeleo.
Your third option is to waive your right to an attorney for today's hearing.
La tercera opción que tiene es que puede renunciar a tener abogado por este juicio, por ahora, en este día.
If you choose this option, you can then discuss your case directly with the prosecutor, Mr. Gallegos.
Si usted se va por la tercera opción de no tener abogado, eso le da la oportunidad de hablar con el fiscal, Mr. Gallegos.
This gives you the opportunity to try to come to some resolution on your own.
Esto le daría la ventaja de llegar a una resolución en su caso.
If you waive your right to an attorney today, you always have the right to change your mind and tell the court you want an attorney for future dates.
Si más adelante usted cambia de idea y quiere tener un abogado, tiene que indicarlo al tribunal para que le den la oportunidad de tener un abogado.
Do you understand your options to counsel?
¿Entendió las opciones que tiene para ser asesorado por un abogado?
sí.
Yes.
Very well. How do you wish to proceed today?
¿Cómo desea proseguir con su caso ahora?
Con la tercera opción.
Con el fiscal.
La third option.
Yeah.
La tercera opción quiere estar diciendo que renuncia a abogado.
Sí.
He
Sir.
waives.
Very well. Sir, is anyone promising you anything in return for waiving your right to an attorney?
¿Alguien le prometió algo que le que le iba a ir mejor si renunciaba a tener un abogado?
No,
Is anyone forcing you to waive your right to an attorney?
¿Alguien lo forzó a que renuncie a tener un abogado?
no,
No.
Very well. The court finds you have knowingly and willingly waived your right to an attorney.
La corte acepta que usted conscientemente y sabiendo lo que está haciendo, renuncia a ser asesorado por un abogado, renuncia a tener un abogado.
Mr. Gallegos, do you wish to proceed?
Yes, briefly, Your Honor. I'll do it right here, it's fine.
All right, I will close the record while you do so.